at the end of the loan period. Now, if the company is unable to repay the money, you're left with the task of suing the company to recover the money. Now, if we had lots and lots of debenture holders all trying to sue the company all at once or enforce their rights against it, it would be very, very complicated. So that's why the law's provided for what's called a trustee for debenture holders, and the trustee can act in the interest of the debenture holders. And the trustee has certain powers, so if the money's not being repaid appropriately, the trustee can, in some cases, appoint a receiver. The other thing with debentures generally is they have what's called a security. Do you know what a mortgage is, robo-lawyer? Yeah, well, that's right. It's basically where there's a piece of property which is secured. They say it's secured, so that if the debt is unable to be repaid, the creditor can exercise rights against that property. Now, generally, under the terms of a mortgage, if the debtor, that's the mortgagor, defaults, the mortgagee can come in and sell that specific item of property and use the proceeds from the sale as a way of recovering the debt. Now, that access to the selling of that property is what's called a security. And so we have, yes, different sorts. We have secured debentures. They're debentures which have a mortgage or first mortgage, and then we have what are called unsecured debentures or unsecured notes. That's right, robo-lawyer. They're a lot more risky sometimes. But what they pay more interest. Yes, that's the other trade-off. To get people to lend a company money without any security, the attraction is there's a higher return. So it's sort of like taking a little bit of a risk, isn't it? You've got to decide, am I prepared to go for the higher interest, or do I want that degree of security, knowing that if the company's unable to pay, there is a property there which can be realised to satisfy the money, the debts which are owing. Yes, there's been some changes to the law too. Yes, came into effect recently. Yeah, little things, just little technical things. Like this whole week is all about technical things. And if you go through it and you try to remember all the technicalities, it's awfully hard. Look for the big picture. That's right, Robo. Look for the big picture, and that's where you'll see how things are important there. But these changes to the law include changes to the criteria for a large proprietary company. Well, that's understandable. As time goes by, the monetary limits will have to go up. And the other thing they're allowing companies to do now is put their annual report up on the internet, so they don't have to send out copies of annual reports to all their shareholders. Well, that's that, robo-lawyer. You think that'll save a few trees? I think so too, yes. Well, we've got to be very environmentally conscious these days. So that's an example of the law moving forward with the times. The technology's there. Like 25 years ago, we didn't even have the internet, robo-lawyer. Did you know that? No? Okay, so what? So you need to know the difference between equity finance and debt finance. Yes, you need to know that. You need to know what a debenture is. What else? Oh, charges. Charges. That's another term for a security. They're the fixed and floating charge, because charges, they're securities which can be registered with the Australian Securities and Investments Commission on a register of charges. That's right, you need to know about that. And you need to know what a floating charge is. That's where you've got a charge over items of property which are continually changing. Now, if you needed to register a charge every time you sold an item of property, and you have to go in and change it around, whereas a floating charge is something which only a corporation can give. I can't give a floating charge. Don't think you can either. But a corporation can over its property, and that charge is, the idea is it just hovers above a certain set of property until such time as a particular event occurs, in which case it becomes what's called a fixed charge. When it's fixed, it's said to crystallise. It's a science term, isn't it, robo-lawyer? Make crystallise. Yeah. Well, the range's been good, hasn't it, robo-lawyer? So they're some of the key ideas. Yes, you need to know what a prospectus is too. Yes, I think that's very important. And why you've got to get the prospectus right here. Did you know when the Commonwealth Bank floated itself, it's spent millions of dollars and had hundreds of accountants and lawyers writing its prospectus? Yes, because they were so concerned about getting everything right. That's called doing due diligence. That's another phrase you come across, due diligence. That means they try to do everything right, and that affords a defence. But that's basically corporate finance here. Yes, I know. I spent a whole year studying corporate finance as a single subject in a master's degree. Yeah, we're going to knock it all over in 1 week. Yes, so obviously the level of depth. You don't have to know all that detail. You have to know it's there. Have to know where to find it is. But the key ideas are far more important, aren't they? Yes. Well, I think we'll leave it there. You've been working on your assignments still over the break. Well, I hope so. Okay, now, are you dry now? I'll take this towel off you. We probably don't need it anymore. Yeah, okay. We'll say goodbye, everyone. So, you say, yes, people. I think people still watch you. Some people do, I think. Okay. Say goodbye, robo-lawyer. Goodbye, everyone.